Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to Make It Monday. Today is week 29 in my series on dynamic duos, where I'm teaching you two projects using the same product. I'm starting off with a 12 by 12 inch double page scrapbook layout, and I know it's going to be difficult to see in the camera view, so head over to my blog and you can see the pictures there, and don't forget you can click on them to enlarge them. But the big focal point of today is going to be this, which is the brand new In Color Assortment of sequins. Now, I'm going to tell you that they're small. They are not too small to attach with a glue dot or with the two-way glue pen. That does work. But I put a little spin on things here, and I want to show you about that. If you look carefully, you're going to see that this shakes, that the little pieces in here actually move. Now, this was my original. It was my prototype, and I did make, I think, the cello bag seal a little bit too tight. So I'm going to show you how to tweak that to do this exact same layout. But let's take a quick look at the overview of this page. Very clean, very, very simple. Down here in the corner, I've got some stamped candles with the Itty Bitty Accents Star Punch. I've used the banner punch here, as well as here on this page, of course, added some sequins. Tag topper punch with some of our wonderful new baker's twine that I just frayed. And of course the chevron punch, which is represented here. So let's get started and I'll show you how to do this. I've already stamped a piece of Whisper White cardstock in Coastal Cabana with the words "From Big News." And I used that stamp set last week as well. Awesome set. There's lots of things in there, including that adorable candle that was here on the scrapbook page. But you're going to notice here that I added a little bit of a border, and I want to introduce a new stamp set to you. This set is called Draw the Line. Again, I think it's well overlooked in the catalog, but I'm having a blast with this. Not only is this great for journaling lines, it can make stripes or plaids by stamping it in two different directions. This stamp set is photopolymer, and quite frankly, I absolutely love that when I'm doing borders because you can't even miss. You can see perfectly. So they are very sticky, so let me get a clear block and I'm going to show you how this is done. I like to mount my photopolymer face down on the table. And of course, if you have a healing mat or a grid sheet, which works great, you're just going to place your block right on top of it and then just press. And because they stick so well, you don't have any problem with adhesion. This is crisp Cantaloupe. And because the stamp is so long, you're going to want to make sure that you travel across the pad to ink it up. Now, because you're going to need a block that's much larger than what you're going to need for the stamp, you're going to want to be careful not to rock the ink onto the clear block itself. Now, I'm just going to line this up in my grid paper, and I'm just going to stamp across the bottom. Now, these polka dots are not perfect. They're meant to look sketch, so there we have it at the bottom. So now our insert is ready for our shaker. This is a cellophane bag. Now, Stampin' Up! No longer sells this size. This is 3 inches by 5 inches. This one is not completely clear, nor nearly as nice as the ones we sell, but I did need it for this size. Now, we do sell the 4 by 6, so if you make your image greeting or your focal point of your scrapbook page bigger, head over and get those from the catalog. This is going to slip down inside. Now, before we seal it, we're going to have to put in a little bit of confetti. Now, I'm going to give you a warning. A little bit goes a long way. I used a plastic spoon, and I put on maybe a quarter of that teaspoon, and I put the spoon down inside the bag. Now, I'm going to tell you that you can kind of close it up and shake it around and see if it's enough, and I think that's plenty because you don't want to put so much that you can't recognize the verbiage. Nothing fancy. I folded it over, and I used a piece of Scotch tape right here to seal it. There's something new that works just as good. This is our new Fast Fuse tape. I was a little challenged with it in the beginning because it's a different type of adhesive. It is stronger than snail, but not as strong as sticky strip, and I love it because it's in a dispenser. Now, I'm going to tell you that when you use it, you're going to have to roll it at a 90-degree angle, and you're going to have to flick your wrist like a check mark to get it to break off because it is rather gummy. But since there are 2 layers here, it's going to be important that we put adhesive in between to seal this, as well as seal it to the back. So I'm going to roll it on here and create a flick mark, and that's going to seal it here, and then I'm going to put another bit of it here. Okay? And then I'm going to seal this tight. You're going to want to make sure you seal it tightly, because if you don't, you leave a gap, the sequins can go behind. Okay, so now we've got like our little shaker, which is our greeting for our card, or in this case, it's actually going to be the sentiment block for the scrapbook page. I used a piece of the In Color Designer Series paper, and I did mount this up on dimensionals. Gotta have dimensionals, you know me. And of course, I've already gone over the rest of the page. But let me show you the dynamic duo and what else I did with these sequins. And here it is. Check out this card and how I've used the sequins here at the top. And I'll show you how I've gotten those adhered so that they don't fall off. Of course, you can also make a shaker for your card this way, which is lots and lots of fun. But I want to show you another way that you can use these little sequins. For the sake of the video, I've stamped a smaller sample for you. This is Whisper White, again, the Coastal Cabana ink, and I'm using sticky strip. So what you're going to do is you're going to line wherever you're going to want this with sticky strip. So I'm going to put a piece across here, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut this off, and I like to do it from the back so I get a nice straight line. Important to burnish this tape, which means to rub it so that it sticks really well before you're attempting to take off the red line. Now I'm going to recommend you put something underneath you, because we're going to have to dispense the sequins in a scattered formation. If you don't have a little plastic tray, this one from Stampin' Up! Is retired. A coffee filter works wonderfully. So what you're going to do is lay your project in there, and you're going to take your sequins, and you are very generously going to dump them. Now I know you're probably freaking out. It's going to be okay, because we're going to put them back inside the container, what we don't use. And I am going to press and place sequins wherever I feel sticky, that nothing's sticking to. Just press them onto the sticky strip. And because they're small, they're going to fill in really, really well. Just give me a second here to finish pressing, and I'll hold this up so you can see. Now you can actually see how strong the sticky strip is, that it's actually extended past probably where I want it. So you can just easily pull this off and just groom it so it has more of a shape of what you'd like. But that's how strong the tape is. Isn't that cute? Just another way to decorate your card using these adorable sequins. That's today's Dynamic Duos, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Make It Monday.